In a dusty little workshop nestled between a laundromat and a florist, an old man named Elias worked as the town's locksmith. For nearly 60 years, people had brought him broken locks, stuck doors, and mysterious old keys. He would fix them with hands that never trembled and eyes that had seen more than they ever said. But Elias was no ordinary locksmith. You see, Elias believed every lock had a story. To the untrained eye, he was just an aging man with a silver beard and a permanent oil stain on his shirt. But to those who paid attention, Elias was something else entirely, a keeper of secrets, a quiet witness to the quiet struggles of those around him. Every day, someone walked through his door with more than a lock to fix. There was the woman with the necklace box that wouldn't open. Her grandmother's, she said, filled with memories. Elias spent 2 hours gently nudging it open, only to find faded love letters and a dried rose. She wept in silence. He said nothing, just offered her a tissue and a cup of tea. Then there was the teenager who came in with his bike lock, embarrassed because he'd forgotten the combination. As Elias cracked it, he asked the boy what he was locking away. The teen shrugged, but Elias looked him in the eyes and said, "Sometimes, the things we forget are the things we're afraid to face." The boy returned a week later with a new lock and a thank you note. Elias never charged much. He said if you couldn't afford to open what life had closed, you were already carrying enough weight. But there was one lock Elias could never open. It sat on a wooden box under his workbench. Old, rusted, wrapped in a piece of velvet that had long since lost its color. Customers had noticed it over the years, always asking what was inside. He would just smile and say, "That one isn't ready yet." Nobody pressed. Years passed, the town changed, high-rises went up, the florist closed, the laundromat became a vape shop, but Elias stayed. Until one day, the shop didn't open. People knocked, they called. Eventually, the landlord let them in. Elias was gone, peacefully in the little room behind the shop, where he had lived alone. There was no family, no will, just the shop, the tools, and the locked box. The townspeople didn't know what to do. For days, people came by just to sit inside. Some left flowers, others left notes. Then a little girl came in, maybe 10 years old. She walked straight to the counter, pointed to the wooden box, and said, "My grandma said Mr. Elias promised her he'd open that when he was ready." The landlord, unsure what else to do, handed her the box. It was heavy. That evening, the town gathered in the square. The girl stood quietly in front of everyone, holding the box. She pulled a note from her pocket. A key had been taped to it. It was found under Elias's pillow. The note said, "Stories are locks we place on truth. But love, that's always the key. This box holds mine. Now it's yours." The girl unlocked it. Inside were dozens of letters, photos, small tokens, a pocket watch, a faded photo of a young woman, and a journal titled, "The Ones I Couldn't Save, the Ones I Did." It was his life. Stories of people who'd come into his shop broken and left a little more whole. Names changed, but the heart intact. Pain honored, kindness remembered. The crowd went silent. That night, they didn't just mourn a locksmith. They remembered a man who, in fixing what was broken, healed what was unseen, and they passed the journal around. Each person added their own story to the blank pages in the back. They still do. Because in a world full of locks, of secrets and sadness and silent battles, Elias taught them that storytelling is the only real key.